This past year, I made a photograph in Vietnam actually from a multimedia project that I was working on about Agent Orange. I was sent there by a foundation in San Francisco through the journalism school there. It's a Ford Foundation, through a Ford Foundation grant. There's this big initiative to 40 years later open up awareness again about Agent Orange. And so photograph won second place in daily life singles category. And actually I find it ironic because I went there with a wonderful still photographer, Catherine Carnow, to collaborate on a multimedia piece, and my role was as a filmmaker. But there's this one moment that this picture was made in where everything came together. It was incredible, an incredible moment. It really was one of the few times in my life where I made a picture and in the moment I thought, wow, something special happened here. The light, the shadowing, the character, the sort of the gesture I caught her in, it just all came together so beautifully. And fortunately, I did my job right and I captured it. And so what I'm really excited about is that, you know, when your work gets these forms of recognition beyond the sort of ego and all that crap, and, you know, the professional side of it, the in the cave aspects of it, what is much more important is that it allows this issue to get more awareness. And ultimately, that is the purpose of doing this work. And for me, that's why this is so exciting. So on the one hand, from a professional level, it's, you know, I think there's no photographer in the world who isn't, you know, deeply proud and happy, whatever, to win a World Press Award in any category, in any designation. But more importantly, it will raise awareness. This means this picture, this little girl's picture, will now travel all over the world, and however many thousands of people will see it, and then especially our younger generations to learn that the impact, the ongoing impact of wars. That 40 years later, there are people in Vietnam and America who are being born with disabilities and birth defects from this chemical that the United States military dropped in Vietnam in the 1960s. Well, I produced a 15-minute film called The Leaves Keep Falling, and that this image is out of. And the way we organized the coverage, I was there for 2 weeks, and so not a very long time, and we focused on 2 families in the city of Da Nang, Vietnam, which actually is one of the Agent Orange hotspots. And dioxin is the active toxic chemical in Agent Orange. There was a major, I think the main US Air Force base was in Da Nang, so it was the staging area for bringing in Agent Orange into the country and then dispensing and dispersing it around into the jungles and forests of the country. And so Da Nang is particularly hard hit with cases of Agent Orange. The statistics say that roughly 4 million Vietnamese were exposed to Agent Orange, and that today there's at least 150,000 Vietnamese who are suffering the visible impact of the, you know, toxic effects of dioxin poisoning. And again, what's so horrible is that it's being passed on genetically. That's the point that needs to be made. That even though we've stopped spraying it, it is, and who knows how long that legacy will continue. So Lee, the girl in the picture, was in one of the 2 families that I was photographing. And actually the way we told the story is really just through the daily lives of these families. There's no question in my mind that there's an enduring power of still photography. And I am disgusted by often people in our own ranks who will put down, or minimize the power of still photography. So while I'm not deluded to think that we can change the world with a picture the way we could 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, I absolutely know that single images and photo essays can touch people, and also that people care, that they're not so numb and unconcerned. So, we can't do it every day or all the time, but, if we can do it every so often, that's what it's about.